Okay, so hello everyone, welcome to the Dandelion Mathematics series, and today's video will be about a brief introduction about what we're going to cover in our future videos. Okay, so in our video, we're only going to cover the contents included in the IB Math AA class for both SL and HL students. So due to the time constraint, I'm not doing any videos about the Math AI classes, so sorry for that. And then in our curriculum, there are 5 units in total. Yes, so there are 5 units in total that we're going to study. So we're going to be talking about them separately. So unit 1 about numbers and algebra. So for both HL and SL students, you are going to be overcoming these 4 core topics. And extra for HL, you are going to be doing 3 extra topics about the counting principles, which are about the permutations and combinations, and then the complex numbers, even though they're called the complex number, but it's actually not a complex, so don't panic. And then the system of linear equations, and in here we're going to include some conceptual knowledges about those metrics, and they're not hard, so don't worry. And then in unit 2, we're going to be talking about the functions, and for both SL and HL students, you're going to overcome these 5 core topics. And then extra for HL students, you're going to be overcoming these 2 core topics about the polynomials and then the modulus and inequalities. Okay, then in unit 3, we're going to spend quite a lot of time here because the trigonometry in the IB Math AAHL will be much more harder than the trigonometry that we know before. So previously we have learned about the sine and cosine and tangent, and we all know our SOHCAHTOA, but however now the trigonometry involves more conceptual knowledges and those theories and more formulas involved. So we'll spend quite a lot of time here. And then extra for HL, you're going to be doing some vectors, which is commonly known as a really tricky topic here. And for IB physics students, if you are doing that subject, so please do master your vectors because you are going to be using it a lot. Okay, and then unit 4, statistics and probability. I believe this is a relatively simple topic. And then for both SN and HL students, you're going to overcome these 4 core topics. And even though the amount of topics for SN and HL are the same, but however, for HL students, you're going to have some extended contents from each of these 4 topics. And then the last unit, calculus, which is known as the trickiest and hardest unit across the entire math book. I get it, and that's actually true. So if you're struggling, don't panic because according to the IB, the recommended teaching hour for this unit is 55 hours, which is the longest teaching hour across the entire book. So if you're struggling, you don't know what is happening, don't worry about it. It's really common, and I know you'll get there. Okay, so for both SL and HL students, you're going to overcome these 3 core topics, and extra for HL students, you're going to be overcoming these 2 extra topics. And interestingly, when you see the topic called the kinematics, it might remind you something that you learned in another class. And yes, we're going to be doing some calculus-based kinematics about your SUVAT. Yes, and just a reminder that if you are doing any physics Olympiads or competitions, you better know your integral calculus and your differential equations because you are going to use them a lot. Okay, so apart from these conceptual knowledges, I'm also going to include some videos about how to use your calculator. So some calculator techniques, and then I'm also going to have some videos about solving those past paper questions. So past papers, and especially I'm going to include some classic type of questions which are commonly asked in your exam. And then I'm also going to put some extra practice problems in the end of each video for you guys to reinforce your understanding for each topic and also to help you to practice more. Okay, so I believe that's all from Deadline today. And if you have any questions, please comment down below. And if you would like to stay tuned for further videos, please click subscribe. And see you next time. Thank you.